The Year of Return in 2019 was a wonderful initiative where the beautiful nation of Ghana opened its gates to all our brothers and sisters living in the diaspora to come in and walk in the footsteps of their ancestors when they got captured and sent into slavery. They saw a lot of high-profile celebrities like Beyonce, Dr. Umar Johnson, Ludacris, Steve Harvey, and the likes walk through the gates of Ghana to come and pay homage to their ancestors. A friend of mine called Echo Simpson made a lot of videos concerning the Year of Return. Please go and check him out and you will understand what the Year of Return was about. My name is Mickey, and in this video I'm going to look into the Year of Return in a Caribbean perspective by delving into the culture and history of the Garifuna people of Belize. First, we'll go into the history of the Garifuna people, and then secondly, I'll take you to Dangrega, the home of the Garifunas, where we will witness the reenactment of the Garifuna Settlement Day, which will depict how their ancestors had to migrate into Belize and find a place to call their own and then to carve an identity for themselves. We will get to see all the party that comes with this festival. And finally, I'll speak to some of our brothers and sisters in the diaspora who had a chance to come and witness this beautiful culture, and even speak to some foreign diplomats to know what this whole festival means to them. This video means a lot to me because it's got links to my motherland, Ghana, and then West Africa. So I want you to stick with me and enjoy.
We are now in a typical Garifuna setting next to the sea. The Garifuna are descendants of West African, Central African island Carib, and Arawak people. They arrived in the early 19th century, settling on the southern coast of Belize. Drumming is an integral part of the culture. Their music, called punta, would become the nationally recognized music of Belize. The costume above the stairs is for the Jankono dance ceremony that is celebrated on the last Sunday of the year. The Garifuna culture always resisted slavery, and the Jankono dance embodies that resistance. Traditionally, Garifuna foods are based on ground foods, vegetables, and marine produce. However, the single most important food is the cassava, also known as yuca. The process of making cassava bread is arguably the most important tradition practiced by the Garifuna people. We celebrate Garifuna Settlement Day on the 19th of November. This national holiday was founded by Thomas Vincent Tramos, who was a visionary leader for the Garifuna people.
During my adventure, I was lucky enough to meet a wonderful Garifuna woman who lives in America, who happened to know a lot about the Garifuna history and culture, and I decided to tap into her knowledge. So yeah, let's share.
First and foremost, thank you for giving me this opportunity to be here with you tonight, sharing you my firsthand experience as a Garifuna woman. By all means, I am not a historian. However, this is just oral information that's been transported to me from one generation to the next. Our history has an oral history, and it's now being implemented into books. We're trying to save the books so it can be artifacts for tomorrow for our children. I was born in Honduras, Central America, with my parents there. At 3 years old, my parents decided to bring me to the United States. They no longer wanted me to live in America because they wanted us to have the American dream. So they flew back and picked up 4 children and brought them to America. And upon me arriving to America, I was faced with a place that did not look like my village. You know, Honduras has 52 departments with Garifuna people that live in these villages. And here in Belize, there's a smaller sector. We find Garifuna people also in Guatemala, in an area called Puerto Arias and La Buga. And then you also find Garifuna people in Orinoco in Nicaragua. There are still some Garifuna people in St. Vincent in the Sandy Bay area, and I believe it's also an area called Gregstown. You can find Garifuna people there. However, those brothers and sisters in St. Vincent have been stripped away from their history. So as far as the food that we eat, the culture and things like that, we're now trying to navigate from Honduras, Belize, Guatemala, the United States, and trying to go back and teach where we first were interbreeded with the Black Caribs and Arawak Indians, what our culture was initially. And thanks to those brothers and sisters, they have been open to wanting to learn our culture and their culture all over again, because it's pretty much been taken away from them without their choice, right? So there's a population of about 300,000 Garifuna people in Honduras. In the 1700s, we were settled in the island of St. Vincent. So originally we are from the continent of Africa. Some say that we are originally from the Ashanti, Igbo, and Yoruba people from West Africa.
I am an Ashanti.
From Ghana, right?
From Ghana, yeah.
Right. So they said that we're from there. Some say that we have come from Mali and other places, but we're still trying to make research to be able to have concrete evidence. There was said that there was a shipwreck, which pretty much these supposed to be slaves ended up on the island of St. Vincent, right? During the time they interbreeded with the Black Caribs and the Arawak Indians. Because Black people don't mix, they actually interbreed, just to clarify that. And then from there, the French arrived so that way they could be able to turn us into slaves. So we revolted against slavery. We did not want to be slaves. And we had a chief, his name was Chief Joseph Satoye, and his wife Barauda. And he was the king of our tribe, the paramount, the chief. And he pretty much led a war against the British and the French, so that way we wouldn't become slaves. During that war, of course, the colonizer came in and killed an army of men and women, including our paramount of our tribe. And then we were kicked off to go dive off on the island of Belize, which is right off the coast of St. Vincent. It's not too far. By boat, you could probably say like 45 minutes getting there. And I have went to St. Vincent myself, so I'm speaking to you about first-hand experience. Okay. When I got to that island, all you saw was nothing but a bunch of salt water and land. I don't know how my people was able to survive through that travesty. They pretty much created their boats and navigated to Honduras, Belize, Guatemala, Nicaragua, and settled there. So what you're going to be seeing tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. is going to be that same reenactment as how we got here. So it's not going to be a yacht. It's going to be the boat that was used during those times. It's going to be the leaves and the different type of instruments, intricate instruments that was used so we could be able to navigate and get to this land. Cool. And we were supposed to be the people that were supposed to be killed off 222 years ago, but we survived. And we have multiplied. I want to reiterate, Garifuna people are spiritual people. We never practice Catholicism. We never practice Christianity. We have our own spirituality, which is our own religion. It's called the good. The good is, we believe in our ancestors, and we have a hut house, which is a spiritual house built in the beach, where we have food, liquor, water. Everything that our ancestors was able to consume is what we go out and we put out there for them. And then we have a spiritual godmother who is the master of ceremony. And it's just something so spiritual that we connect to. And we praise our God, which is, we call God, we call it Baba, Bungiu, Faraudia. We have 3 different names for our gods. And we praise that in the beach. We hold each other's hands, and then you Babe Mahani. Babe Mahani is when you singing and you praising the ancestors like this, and you calling them on. It's not devil worshiping, it's who we are. But since the people started practicing Catholicism and Christianity and other religion, they have been told that their spirituality, what their essence was at the beginning, is now devil worshiping when it's not. I feel like as religion, we should all respect each other. Everybody's spirituality should be respected as well, so people could be able to have a freedom of choice. The Garifuna story is one story that I feel like every household should be able to know about, just like the way people should be able to know about the tribes in Nairobi, Kenya, from the people from Mombasa called the Maasai people, all the way to the people from Ghana, who are the Ashantis. These are important blueprints of the world that people should know in their homes. So thank you for giving me the opportunity once again.